Hello and welcome to another how-to. In this video I'm going to discuss the barbell front squat. I'll demonstrate the movement and go over the finer details of executing the lift, and when and how you can fit it into your program. To perform the barbell front squat, you must be sure to position the bar at just about shoulder height or slightly lower to allow yourself to get up under the bar and lift it off the rack safely. Now, what makes this different from the typical back squat is the placement of the bar, which is positioned in front of the shoulders rather than behind, stacked on top of the traps. This forces a more upright position and shifts weight back on the heels. The weight distribution also means that core and thoracic stability is essential. If you cannot maintain the tightness in the core, you risk dropping the elbows and shoulders forward, which may cause you to drop the bar or put unwanted tension on the lower back to maintain stability. After the bar is positioned at shoulder height, step up and set yourself in the middle of it. You can point your arms straight out in front of you to find your placement if need be. Now step back and hook your fingers around the bar at about shoulder width and step under the bar while maintaining hand placement. As you can see, the four fingers of both of my hands are bent around the bar while I have fully flexed my elbow and extended my shoulder. The bar should sit on top of the clavicles and up against the front of your neck. This is called the front rack position and is the conventional method for performing front squats. The front rack may take some time to get used to, so I would recommend practicing without weight or with a light load before attempting any squats with it. You can do this by holding the front rack for about 15 to 20 seconds for 3 to 5 sets, a few times per week to get more comfortable in that position. The front rack can put a lot of stress on the elbows and wrists, so I suggest practicing it just to avoid any possible injuries from loading the bar and getting up under it before you're ready. After the front rack has been established, lift the bar and make sure you maintain the connection between your clavicles and the bar while you take a step or two away from the rack. The rest of the movement is similar to a conventional squat. However, you must pay close attention to your core and thoracic stability. Be sure to keep the elbows up to maintain the front rack. The weight should be evenly distributed throughout the foot, but I usually recommend that you try to focus most of it on your heels at first to help you maintain form and to keep yourself from shifting forward too much. From here on out, you perform the front squat the same way you would a conventional squat. Get a full range of motion and maintain foot placement that is comfortable for you. As with all squats, we also want to make sure our knees are not caving in on the concentric portion of the lift. If the front rack just isn't working out for you, there are some other variations that may be appropriate. A common method is crossing the arms in front, holding the bar down with your hands. I don't typically like to recommend this due to its instability and the difficulty most people have with maintaining the upright posture. This position may make it a little bit more difficult to maintain the position of the bar up against the clavicles and neck because you're not able to get your elbows up quite as high with your hands folded in front of you like this. So that's one reason why I don't usually recommend this, but it may be a good way to get started with the front squat to become more comfortable with the movement itself before you add the front rack into the equation. You can also stick your arms straight out. This is called a zombie front squat. For beginners, this can be an easier way to keep the torso in an upright position by raising the hands higher than the shoulders. Just make sure that your thumbs point up to keep the shoulders in a position that allows for a crevice for the bar to rest in, mimicking the area where the bar is held in the standard front rack. Front squats heavily utilize the glutes and quads. Always make sure you engage the glutes, especially at the beginning of the concentric portion of the lift. The front squat is just as versatile as the back squat, and I would argue even more so due to the weight distribution and the position you must maintain with your core throughout the lift. I personally use front squats for hypertrophy, but I add them in as a secondary compound quad movement in conjunction with my primary movement, which is typically machine-based. I think a free weight squat should always make an appearance in a training program, even one based in hypertrophy. For athletes, a front squat is invaluable, and most coaches will utilize them often. Even powerlifters may find a benefit from training with a front squat, but should be added to the off-season as to not affect the back squat performance closer to a meet. And that's the front squat with a few of my opinions. This is a great movement, and if you are unfamiliar, you should absolutely try adding them into your lower body training rotation. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful, like it and let me know, and if you want more how-tos, subscribe. Thank you.